So I started using all pastel in coloring books for a while now, and I absolutely love it. So I thought I'd give you my 5 favorite tips and tricks to create some easy all pastel art. Hi, I'm Natalie, and on my channel you'll find painting tutorials as well as different ways for you to discover your creativity and just spend a little relaxing time with me. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you get my notifications. As always, I leave some notes and a few links in the description below, so you might want to check that out and see if there's something you want to get for yourself or maybe as a gift. Hey, question of the day. When was the last time you purchased a coloring book and you just did 1 or 2 pages and just left it aside? Hey, you wouldn't be the only one. So let me know in the comments below, and let's get started. Grab your favorite beverage and join me in this fun all pastel coloring session. So today, to do our coloring, we are using the Portfolio series from Crayola. These all pastels are fabulous. I just love them. I've been using them for years. The drawing I'm doing today is from our book, Lord Help Me to Flourish. My girlfriend Leila Ganamange and myself created it a little while ago. You can watch more videos. I have some links in the description. So you can print this page called Flourishing Words. The link is in the description. So for our drawing, we have a coloring page or a coloring book, some sparkles, a blending tool, and our pastels. So the colors I selected today are yellow, green, peach, a blue, green, orange, a true blue, yellow, pink, white, red, rust, golden brown, and moss. I think I picked a few more, but I'll tell you as I give you the instructions today. You're welcome to use as many colors as you want. So the first color we're using today is the true blue. And my first tip is to apply your pastel. I don't press too hard on my pastels, but I go over the color quite a lot with little circular motion. It's almost like I'm doodling with the pastel, and I just go up and down, and I cover the area that I want to cover with the little circular motion, and I don't start blending until all the color is applied. So I'm switching to green right now because I'm going to do the ground, a few different colors. But I switch very freely from blue to green, and now I'm using the light brown, the golden brown, sorry, and applying it. Like, all these little circular motions are what, for me, makes it really fun to play with the pastels. It's very loose, and I'm kind of drawing outside the lines, and that I love that. It's just a lot of fun. I like to switch back and forth. I'm taking the green again, applying freely on this is the ground behind the woman. Now I'm taking the blue and just adding some blue over the green and brown. This you'll see when it's time to blend. Adding those colors really make everything tie in together. So I'm going back with my green, working on the ground, and then adding some blue. So while you're applying the blue on the rest of the ground and going into the sky, I would like to tell you about how this illustration came to be. I was in my car listening to K-Love, and the song Ever Be came on the radio. So this song is by Aaron Shust, S-H-U-S-T. I'd love for you to listen to this song while coloring. It's absolutely beautiful. So at one point in the song, he says, "You father the orphan, your kindness makes us whole, and you shoulder our weakness, and your strength becomes our own. Now you're making me like you, clothing me in white, bringing beauty from ashes, for you will have your bride. So as soon as I heard those lyrics, I had this vision, this illustration that you're coloring right now. And at that time, I did not have any idea about doing a coloring devotional, anything like that. So this moment really sparked a new journey for me and my friend Layla, actually. So I'm just so thrilled you're coloring this image right now, because it's the first one that just started it all. So now I'm grabbing the pink, and as you can see, I'm adding pink over the blue. I'm not gonna blend, like I was saying earlier, I'm not blending anything right now. I'm just adding the colors on top of one another in that little doodling motion. So now I'm grabbing my yellow orange and adding it to the blue. I gotta say, yellow orange is it's my favorite color out of the whole set of these pastels. I just love it. So I put a lot of it in the background and mix this color with a lot of the other pastels. It just makes your illustration, your drawing, really warm, and I love that. I'm going back to the blue, and I'll finish up the sky. I'm going back to the golden brown. This is another color I really love a lot. I'm adding it next to the green on the ground. Now I'm going to add the color in the flower behind the woman. I'm adding pink. You could totally do a different color. You could do a red, you could do purple. It's really up to you. Let your creativity flow, and I really hope you're listening to some nice music, having a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or your favorite beverage. This is time for you to unwind, to forget the stress of the day, leave it all behind. If you listen to this song Ever Be while coloring this, you'll get the whole experience. I tell you, it's really worth doing a search and finding that song. So I'm doodling, adding little circular motion over the entire flower. If you wanted to do it differently and color each petal separately and do different shading and different color tone and work with more detail, you could definitely do that. This is my techniques. This is my way of truly using all pastels the same way I use paint. Next, I'm grabbing that warm yellow again. I just love that color. So I'm gonna add that warm yellow on top of the pink in my flower, and also a little bit in the sky behind the flower. And this really helps tie everything together. Bringing it to the bottom of the page, and I switch to gray just to represent the darker side of this illustration. So obviously she's coming out of the ashes, so I'm using gray for that reason. Now I'm going to color a little bit more of the flower with a red, and I do it a little differently with the red. I just kind of do a few lines to outline the petals. It's still very loose though, and I'm not necessarily going over all of the lines, but it's just to add some depth to the flower. You'll see when you start blending this, it just becomes magical. Everything is, it's really creating a whimsical effect, very airbrush-like, and I'm telling you, you're gonna want to frame it. This would also really make a nice gift. So now I'm doing white on white, so you can't really see that I'm applying the white pastel, but I will be adding a little bit of other colors to make her white dress kind of stand out a little bit more. But for now, you're just putting white on white. I'm also going in the gray a little bit with the white. Now the skin tone, you have a choice. You can do the skin tone that is in the kit. You can also use a warmer color like your golden brown, or there's different shades. Pick your skin tone, and I'm doing the arms, and I'm actually going to do half of her face. This is one of my signature look, is to do half of the face a color and the other half usually blue or blue-green. You can totally do the entire face skin color if you prefer. I'm using that the skin tone color, and I'm adding it to the background and on the flower. And you can see I'm going over everything. I'm not following any lines here. I just love to use the colors that I use inside of the woman, the white and the skin tone right now, in the background. This is just gonna really give a beautiful look when you blend. I picked up the yellow, and I'm doing the same thing, adding little touches in the background. I'm going over the flower as well. Those light colors applied on top of the pastel really gives you that airbrushed look at the end. I love blending. I mean, applying the color is fun, but you'll see it's so much fun. So I grabbed my red, and I added a few doodle of red in my flower, going back to the yellow and finishing on the ground on the right side. I like to say that I'm definitely not a professional with pastel. I just have a passion for them. I picked up my flesh tone and added a little bit more to the background, and now I grab the golden brown to do the hair. You can do a darker brown. I'm just going to use a golden brown in the hair, and I'm going to use a darker brown to do some outlining. Just to, like, I'm using the rust also in her hair. I also added a touch of red. But rust, golden brown, and the red in her hair. Now I'm doing the blue, the other side of her face. I'm grabbing the orange to do her shoe. And I'm doing a little bit of color going up her dress. Very little. It's just to add a little bit of color so that her dress has a little bit more of a dimension. I did add a tiny bit of orange in the background, but not too much. Now I'm taking my rust color and just doing a little shadow underneath her chin and covering with the skin tone just to help it blending. I'd like to read the two verses, Bible verses in the journal page in my coloring book. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Psalm 19:14. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. Proverbs 16:24. Now, this is the look your illustration is going to have once we start blending. And you'll see, this is my favorite part. So let's get it started. So to blend, I use my fingers. You can use your ring finger. You can use more than one finger if you want, but make sure you hold your paper in place to keep it from creasing. So you just apply quite a bit of pressure and rub your finger up and down or with little circular motion. Just go freely with that. There's not really a good way or a wrong way to do this. The pastel are going to melt under the heat of your fingers, and also because you're rubbing, so you're doing that friction, which creates the pastel to really blend so nicely. These pastels are so creamy. I'm blending the sky. I go back to the flower. I really don't have a way to do this. You could, go back to the blend a little bit in the ground. Just go wherever your heart takes you in your artwork. If you want to work a little bit on the dress like I did just now, I blended a little bit of some of the pastel bits were on her dress, but when I blended it, it just kind of gave a little bit of an off-white almost to her dress, so it looks pretty. Now I'm just blending the ground, going up. I'm kind of traveling on the page. Now I'm using the blending tool for just smaller areas, and also if you prefer to use a tool, there's different sizes as well. But for the face, just make sure you remove the excess pastel that would be on your tool so you don't add unwanted colors. You can use a paper towel or just rub it with your finger to remove whatever color is there. And I'm just kind of doing little doodling up and down my page after I blended the colors with my finger. So you can see how all the colors are coming together, really blending beautifully. I love the whimsical look of coloring with oil pastels. And another tip is to, while you blend, afterwards you can come back with more of the pastel color to deepen some of the areas. So you can work at this as much as you want and as long as you want, because once you blend the color, it just becomes another kind of foundation for you to add some dimension to your artwork. I'm going back with the blending tool. You could do the whole thing with the blending tool. Hey, why not? I'm blending the little shoe, adding a little skin tone to her foot. I left it white. I'm also adding that skin tone to the yellow just to warm it up a little bit. You can see that my signature is at the bottom, so you can sign your name next to mine. You can put Natalie and your name. It'd be kind of cute. So I grabbed the orange and just did a few dots just to add even more warmth to the ground. Doing the same thing with blue, just adding little dots. That's another little area I forgot under the chin, so that's the flower behind her. I'm blending the hair a little bit and doing a little blending in the face and on the flower surrounding her. You'll see how fun the blending becomes. I grabbed my red and added a few red lines, a few red outline on the flower as well. Now I'm blending the arms. A little bit more pink for the flower behind her. And now I'm gonna blend those red outlines that I just did on the flower. There's my JoJo. She lies down next to me when I color, so I think she really enjoys the peaceful mood of coloring. And you can see she wants to take over. Come on, JoJo. All right, just moving my dog to finish up. She would stay there the whole day. Okay, well, I add a little bit of a dark green to the left corner just to deepen it a little bit. I use the blue-green in the left bottom corner. Doing a little bit of a frame, but this is totally optional. I just grabbed a little pink. I'm gonna add orange and white and just kind of do a frame around my illustration. JoJo's trying to come back in. She's like, Mommy, I want to color. So I added pink, a little white, a little golden orange, yellow orange, sorry, my favorite color, to the frame, and I'm just gonna blend it. Again, it's totally optional. Today's December 1st, so of course I have my little ornaments and a nice sweater and my cup of tea. I'm really in the mood for the Christmas season, the holiday season. I think the book is a beautiful gift to offer someone. I'll leave the link below in the description if you want to get it for yourself or just gift someone a very special coloring book. So now for the crown, I just did little dots of green, pink, and blue, a little yellow. I'm adding a little white. You can add as many colors as you want. Going over the hair just to define the hair a little bit right there. And I'm gonna blend with my blending tool. I'm adding a little bit of blue going down her dress, just to create a little bit of a shadow. A little orange in the hair, a little rust. If you wanted to do her hair like yellow, like more blonde or black, you can change whatever you want. Now I'm using my confetti glitter. You can use gold glitter, you can use whatever glitter you have at home. And I'm not going to put too much for my tutorial, but I did add some afterwards, and I just love to add glitter. It's just something that's like a personal choice, I think. And that's a trick that I do and I love. I just add glitter and then I just kind of blend it with my finger to kind of make it look more natural. It's so much fun to add glitter on top of pastel, and it stays really nicely. Now it's the finished look with a whole bunch of glitter. I kind of went a little crazy, but I love it. It just shines. In the coloring book, the coloring devotional, on the journal page, there's a couple of roses So if you have downloaded the coloring page, you don't have that part obviously, but I'm just adding a little bit of pink in the flowers, and this is a beautiful way to kind of come back after you finish your drawing, and if you want to get the book and just kind of journal about your experience, about how you felt coloring this image, if any emotion were brought up to the surface, did it bring you back in time a little bit, you know, how you used to be, or whatever emotion or words you want to put on the page, you can do that in the coloring devotional. And there's a beautiful devotional written by my friend Leila Ghanamaj. Of course, there are 15 of them, 15 drawings, coloring pages, 15 illustrations, my original work. I'll make another video and put the link in the description if you want to learn more about the book. There's actually quite a few videos my friend Leila and I made, so I'll put those in the description below. I'm blending outside the lines totally. You can see how the smudge look is something I really like to do on more of a white page. This is fun. I did the little green leaves, and now I'm just gonna add just a little bit of the blue-green for shadowing the leaves. If you have any tips, if you're a professional pastel artist, leave your comment below. I'd love to learn more. Anything I can learn or find out that you're doing, and I'd love that. So make sure to leave a comment below. I also added a little bit of glitter on the journal page, and I kind of went thick, but I'm blending everything with my finger afterwards, so it's all good. Glitter is good for the soul. Oh. Here we go. I love how this image turned out. I colored it more than once, and every time it's just so much fun. So again, I invite you to subscribe to my channel for more videos and connect with me on Twitter and Instagram at paintwithnat, N-A-T. Until my next video, stay creative. Bye for now.